Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is JDP again. Uh, mm, it's going to be another In Search of Kizomba video series, but I've been doing some uh, internet research on the origins of the zouk music. So I'm going to um, have a few episodes dedicated to that. So I'm trying to. I am not an expert on zouk music, but I'm trying to do the best I can with respect to the origins of kizomba music. But if there's something um, if I make any mistakes, yeah, please add a comment so that I know that that's not correct. I'll try to be as neutral as possible as well. I know I'm a little bit I have a soft corner towards the Cabo Verdean music and dancers, but I'll try not to have that bias in the pursuit of the truth. Hopefully I'll do some justice towards these episodes. The okay so the this is what you see generally when you search for kizomba. Say for example, kizomba. What is kizomba? It means it's a genre of dance and a musical genre originating in Angola in 1984. And music genre can be traced back to Africa. The releases were variably attributed to Angola, traditional Angolan samba music. So okay, there's been some confusion with cola-zouk, and there's been different mm, influences as well. There are many different musical genres that fall under that kizomba umbrella. So let's get back to how it all started. Based on what I understand, it all started with zouk. So zouk is what we know as of now as kizomba is basically a mix of different African rhythms with the zouk. So we'll come to that. But what exactly is this zouk? So when I say zouk, I'm referring to the original zouk, the Caribbean zouk. Brazilian zouk again evolved from the Caribbean zouk, so not to be confused with that. So zouk is this is what the Wikipedia says. Zouk is a genre of dance-oriented music from the Caribbean islands of Guadeloupe and Martinique. It was pioneered and popularized by the band Kassav in the early 1980s. So zouk was originally characterized by a fast tempo, 120 to 145 BPM, a percussion-driven rhythm, and a loud horn section. In the second half of the 1980s, okay, so let's pause here. So let's see another definition what Britannica says about zouk. Zouk, popular dance music associated mainly with the Caribbean islands of Guadeloupe and Martinique, as well as Saint Lucia, Dominica, and Haiti, all in the French Antilles, French West Indies. The music blends a variety of Caribbean, African, and North American music styles. It is characterized by frequent use of French Antillean Creole language, the prominence of electronically synthesized sounds, and sophisticated recording technology. Mm, okay, so here's some more information. The French Antillean Creole term zouk was first used on the islands of Guadeloupe and Martinique to refer to night-long dance parties. The collective label for the various types of Caribbean music played at such parties was Music Zouk. Included in the Music Zouk rubric were the Haitian popular music style known as compa, cadence, biguini, from Martinique and Guadeloupe, and cadence calypso, a hybrid of Haitian cadence and Trinidadian calypso, the Dominica. Mm, In 1979, Guadeloupean sound technician and bass player Pierre Edouard Decimus and guitarist formed Kassav, the group that integrated the diverse styles of music, injected the mixture with the contemporary urban studio produced sounds and marketed the new music as zouk. So this is the origin of zouk. And with the overwhelming commercial success in 1984 of the group's song Zouk-la Cecil Medicama Nui was firmly established as a new and viable dance music genre. So this is an important um, development in the history of zouk. Now, what does Merriam-Webster's dictionary says? It's a French Western music blending African rhythms, reggae, calypso, and electronic dance music. So, it's a simple definition here. So there is dictionary.com that says a style of dance music that originated in Guadeloupe and Martinique, featuring Caribbean rhythms over a disco beat and played with electric guitar and synthesizers. Now, okay, so let's pause it. The most as in Britannica has a more detailed explanation of the origins of zouk. So what they are saying is a popular dance music associated mainly with the Caribbean islands. The music blends a variety of Caribbean North American it is characterized by the so let's go check the map. I believe this video is going to be a bit long, so please bear with me on that because I myself I'm new to the this zouk as a music genre. I'm myself learning. I just did a little bit of research yesterday. So as you can see here, these are the Caribbean islands. It starts from this is Guadeloupe, this is Dominica, this is Martinique, this is Saint Lucia. So these are considered, I believe, as the French West Indies. So zoom out in the world map. This is where it is positioned. It's right above the, I believe this is the equator, just right above the equator in the Caribbean islands. So here they used to have dance parties throughout the night, and they used to play different kinds of Caribbean music, ranging from compa from the Haiti, compa and cadence from Haiti, biguine from Martinique and Guadeloupe, and cadence calypso, which is a hybrid music of Haitian cadence and Trinidadian calypso in the 1970s. So what these guys did in the late 1970s, early 1980s, Guadeloupean sound technician, bass player Pierre Edouard, he mixes all of this, and then he injects that with the contemporary urban sound, and they market it as a zouk music, which is a dance music. We'll have a look at what the song sounds like, and apparently they were they were hugely successful with one particular song called "Zouk is the only medicine we have." So this happens in 1984. So this pretty much kind of establishes zouk as a music genre almost in all of Latin America. Let's see what the song is like. I'm not sure if I have that. I'll better search for the same.
Get on top of property buying with ANZ Buy Ready.
So that's how this apparently was hugely popular in the 19 mid 1980s across the Latin American countries, not just Latin American countries, even in Brazil, Asia, I guess. That's what we read somewhere, right? Yeah. So, and this zouk music predominantly contained Creole lyrics, which is like native Caribbean language in the French West Indies, and because of which the Caribbeans had some kind of they were able to relate to the music as well, I guess, and it got really successful. And there's another aspect of this as well, which is here what they have mentioned as the recording technology. So up until up until the mid 1980s, I guess, there was no digital synthesizers, and these synthesizers got popular only in the mid 1980s, I believe, because of some kind of MIDI technology. And there the Yamaha, see, the first mass produced synthesizer was launched in 1983, popularizing digital synthesis now can be embedded. So this was like huge thing, because it up until that time people were actually using real musical instruments to create the kind of sound, and then because of this technology people were able to like mimic the sound of the instruments through digital formats, which also had a better sound quality and everything, and you can like program it in different ways, I believe. So this also influenced the spread of the zouk music, I believe, in a way. Not just zouk music, in music in general. Even in India, I remember in the late 1980s there was this singer, Hawa. I forgot the name of this, Jahangir, Hassan Jahangir. His album was hugely successful, I believe. It was one of the first albums to use this kind of technology. So technological innovation also contributed partly to the success, I believe. And so this got really popular. This song was hugely successful. This is, I believe, the first commercial successful zouk song. Now, what other see, here the collective label for various types of Caribbean music played at such parties was Music Zouk. I believe music means music or something like that. So included in this music zouk rubric were the Haitian popular music known as compas and cadence, and beguine from the Martinique and Guadeloupe, and cadence calypso, a hybrid of Haitian cadence and Trinidadian calypso, popularized in Dominica in the 1970s. Now let's go ahead and check what these individual music genres sound like, so that we'll get a better idea. Now we already heard the song. So it's a very fast beat music. Now let's listen to, where is that? compa. Okay, so cadence. Let's see what cadence sounds like. Cadence is also called as cadence rampa, I believe. DNS. It's okay. What? So, okay. So zouk is considered as a synthesis of various French and dance music styles of the 20th century: cadence, compa, and biguini. Now let's see what cadence is. Cadence rampa, or simply cadence, is dance music and modern merengue popularized in the Caribbean by the virtuoso Haitian sax player Webert Sicot in the 1960s. Cadence rampa was one of the sources of cadence calypso. So let's not get into cadence calypso now, otherwise it will get very lengthy. Let's just have a look at what cadence rampa sounds like. This instantly reminds me of some 1960s movies, Tamil movies that I remember watching. So that is cadence rampa. We'll check another song. I believe this is cadence rampa as well. For some reason, this reminds me of salsa music.
Depuis moi connais Gisèle, converti demoiselle, on passe à côté sorti dans la rue. Depuis moi connais Gisèle, converti.
So that is a cadence rampa. So let's move on to what is the next one? Cadence rampa. Compa. Now, compa, I believe compa is still popular. Probably already know what compa is. Let's listen still. I'm
So in the kitchen,
I'm playing all the old school compa and cadence. I'm not sure if there is if the music genres have evolved a little bit in the current um, uh, s- uh, um, scene. Uh, just to just for my own understanding, I saved these videos for this purpose, just so that we can understand how the music sounded like when during the 80s and 90s.
can be a massive loop.
comme si ne pas jamais existé. Ou propose ou toujours occupé, en façon pour ne pas faire petit causer.
Compa is the best. This already sounds a bit like Kizomba music, isn't it? So that is why I have like I used to have this I still have this opinion that compa is like the mother of Kizomba music. And when I say Kizomba, I'm referring to mostly not the Angolan zouk, but the Cabo zouk, Cabo Verdean version of zouk.
Tout me songer, c'est pas ça nous t'aider. C'est pas comme ça nous t'aider la vie. Mais dans la main, nous te dit n'a marché. Nous te juré pour nous pas. Ou te
So this is compa, and let's see what. Let's see what Biguini. So the next one in the list would be Biguini. Again, this again reminds me of some like 1960s, 1950s, 1960s music that I remember. The old Hollywood movies, background music. You probably have heard this kind of music playing in the background, right? Yeah. So this is Biguini, and so this is what Kassav did. They mixed these different types of sounds, and then they injected that with some kind of urban sound. Where was that? Injected the mixture with the contemporary urban studio produced sound, and then marketed the new music as zouk. So we heard compa, we had cadence, we had biguini, and this is like the Kassav band. They managed to blend all these different sounds in a certain way, and then add a little bit of contemporary urban sound to it, and then they marketed that music as zouk. And their very first worldwide success was zouk-la Cecil Medicamano. So at this point, zouk has been established as like a Caribbean dance music genre. Now, Caribbean Casa found its principal audience among the French, Antillean, Creole people population in Guadeloupe, Martinique. Okay, within this community, zouk emerged as an emblem of cultural pride, owing first and foremost to the music's use of Creole lyrics. So, because of the use of Creole lyrics, they took pride in the music, and like yeah, you know what it is, right? Mm, and okay, blah 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 blah. Predominantly particular. Okay, aside from its use of the French, Ante, and Creole language, early Zouk was distinguished from his Ante and relatives by its studio sound, including the extensive use of synthesizers. Yeah, as we already discussed, the synthesizers contributed to the popularity of the Zouk music genre as well. Zouk used instruments and rhythms that drew from local traditions, further elevating the status of the French ante and cultural practices. For example, Kassav used the distinctively Guadeloupean guoka. So, regarding this guoka, I managed to find a link and another documentary as well. So we'll watch that in the next episode. As of now, otherwise it will be a bit lengthy. Yeah, so this helped to bring attention and respect to Afro-Caribbean dance tradition that had previously been disparaged as crude and uncultured. Okay, the more broadly Caribbean heritage of Zouk was evident in the music's guiding rhythm, repeated pattern for. This is getting more and more technical now. I don't want to get into that. Mm, and Okay, now this is about the origins of Zouk. So what happens in the second half of the 1980s? Some bands began to play a slower, more romantic style of Zouk, so which was dubbed zouk-love. Now, Zouk, as we discussed, is like a very fast-paced dance music kind of thing. Now, some of the musicians they started experimenting, which is like reduce the tempo of the song to a more slower sound, so that it feels more romantic. And then they gave birth to something called zouk-love. Now, if you zouk-love, if you let's see what zouk-love sounds like. Mm, okay, this one.
Hey guys, it's Todd, and I'm here to finally announce Blokes Only.
You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me.
So notice the music here. It has that zouk synthesizer beat as well, but it is a bit slow. But it's not as slow as compa as we listened to earlier. It is a little relatively faster than compa, but it has that beat, the synthesizer kind of a zouk beat, but it's more romantic, which so that is zouk-love. Now let's stop here. So you would have gotten a little bit of idea as to where how like the kizomba dance kizomba music genre would have would have been born um, eventually out of this blend of genres of music from the Caribbean music. So we have, so I believe Kasav, they managed to tour some African countries, maybe Angola and Cabo Verde. Where is Cabo Verde? I believe somewhere here. Um, and this is Guinea-Bissau, and yeah. So because I'm not sure if zouk-love, if here's what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure if I need to do more research on that. I have a feeling that Like I remember reading somewhere that zouk music got popular in Cabo Verde and Angola and pretty much all the Palop African countries as well. And then they added their own native African sound along. They mixed along with zouk to give birth to different genres of music under the Kizomba umbrella, like Cabo Zouk, Angolan Zouk, Kizomba, etc. But we'll dig deeper into that. As of now, to summarize, zouk music was born in the Caribbean as a fusion music of different Caribbean genres, like from Haiti and Guadeloupe and Martinique and Saint Lucia and Dominica. And in the later 1980s, they slowed down the tempo to give birth to a more slow sound called zouk-love. Let's stop it at that. In the next episode, maybe we'll dig more deeper into how the zouk music evolved and how Kizomba was born. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for watching this. Bye bye, JDP.